Welcome to the Golf Show, and this week we're on location at Mottram Hall, home of six-time European Tour winner Simon Dyson, to celebrate not only the return of golf in England, but to look ahead to this week's Masters, an event he remembers fondly.
I mean, it's every boy's dream growing up playing golf. I won the Dunhill in October, so that got me in the top 50 in the world, so I knew I was going to play it, but actually until you get the invite through the post, it's still a bit surreal, but amazing to get that through the post, it was.
And then, of course, you got that iconic moment of driving down Magnolia Lane for the first time.
Yeah, I played a practice round a week before when the course was really quiet, so we got to drive down Magnolia, and it's just a beautiful drive. And then we obviously did it on the Monday of the tournament, and it had a very different feel to it. There was the buzz about the place, knowing it was Masters Week. There was crowds there. I think there was about 20,000 people there on the Monday. So it had a really different feel about it, and yeah, very excited to do that.
And imagine, even though you hadn't played the course before, you'd grown up watching it on TV, you knew every hole, just how different was it in person?
I mean, everybody knows every single hole, don't they? But it's so very different when you get there. You can't believe how undulating it is. So like, I got on the first tee, and you look down towards the 7th green, 8th tee, and you can't believe how far down they are. Just certain shots, 10, you don't realise how much the hole goes down as well. But yeah, very, very different to what you see on TV.
Now, you played it a couple of times, 2010, 2012. Is there a certain shot, certain memory that stands out?
Yeah, probably the 2010, the second day. I'd had an all right day the first day, and I knew I needed a good start, and I think I doubled the first, but then birdied the second, birdied 4, 5 and 6, so I got on a really good run there. 'Cause, you know, 5, I think I was hitting 5 wood in. 5's obviously a really tough hole, and then 6, I think I hit the best shot I hit all week. I hit a 6 iron to about 3 feet, so they really stand out for me.
So having played the course, who better to ask than Simon about the challenges this year's players will face at the Masters, starting on the tee.
I think when you're driving around Augusta, it's all about getting it in play. Length on certain holes is important, but it's not. The emphasis isn't on distance around Augusta, because we know it's an approach play type of course. So getting it in position on the fairway and allowing you to hit to those greens from the fairway is key.
And we see a lot of holes go from right to left, and a lot of players hit that draw, or the lefties, of course, hit the fade. How important do you think that is? Is it a big advantage?
Yeah, it is. That's why I always think it suits somebody like Rory. I mean, you look at Bubba Watson, you know, he's won it twice. Phil Mickelson can move it about. All those boys who have the ability to be able to hit the fade when you're a lefty, or hit the draw when you're right-handed, it has a massive advantage.
And if you are out of position, you can still get away with it in parts, can't you?
Yeah, you can. We've seen throughout the years that they change the course a bit. Sometimes there's rough, sometimes there's not. You know, back end of last year, there was none. So if they grow the rough, then it's a totally different course. I think Westwood played it a few weeks ago and said it's the hardest he's ever seen it.
Okay, let's see how it's done.
Let's see it. Right, so we've got a bit of a right to left sweeping fairway, so I'm just going to aim down the right and turn one in, get that bouncing down the fairway. Yeah, I'd be happy with that.
Okay, Simon, let's talk about approach play at Augusta. We're in perfect position off the tee, and we do know that finding the right position on these greens is crucial, isn't it?
Well, I think you look at everybody who's done well around at Augusta, and their approach play has been in probably the top 5 in the field, because it's so important on these greens to find the correct level, the correct side. I mean, you could literally have a 6-foot putt from the wrong side, but you'd rather be 20 feet away from the correct side. So position off the tee is important, but position on the green is absolute a must. So yeah, approach play is big. There'll be certain pins around Augusta where your 25 feet is perfect. There'll be certain pins, obviously front right on maybe 7, where you can really get at it and you can hit it 15 feet left, let it feed down. But there is certain holes, certain shots where you're really happy with 25, 30 feet.
Okay, well, we've had a good drive. Let's have a look at the approach put into practice.
Yeah, well, So we've got a pin here, it's probably tucked on the right hand side. At Augusta, you'd probably say, you're missing that pin right, you're going to be dead. So you'd favour 15, 20 feet left. So let's step into it.
Okay, so let's talk about the putting then at Augusta and these treacherous greens, because no matter where you are, there is danger, isn't there?
There's danger on every single hole. You know, you get the wrong side of the hole, you've got a tricky two putt. You know, it's all about positioning the ball in the correct place on the green, and the guy who wins the tournament has done that better than anybody.
Okay, well, we hit a good shot here, but it did roll back like we will see this week at Augusta. So what have we got here to look forward to?
Do you know what? You'll see it all week. You literally see a good shot, it'll go to within 10, 12 feet of the pin, and then it'll just get the wrong side of the slope and just roll down. So ours has rolled back down to here, probably got a 30 footer. But at Augusta, if you were 10 foot the other side, you'd probably rather have this putt, because that is a non-makeable putt. This is makeable, but you're happy with two putts, I would think so.
Okay,
so
let's see.
We'll step into this, see if we can get it close. Not a bad effort. Two putt, I'm happy with that.
So we've seen how it should be done, and with that in mind, we couldn't let Simon go without finding out just who he fancies to don that famous green jacket on Sunday night.
First of all, I've gone for Jon Rahm. I love watching Jon Rahm. I love his attitude, how he plays with a passion. Spaniards are known for doing well around Augusta. You know, he's third in the world. His stroke average is 69.9, which is unbelievable. And just his all-round game suits Augusta.
And we've seen him do really well here, 7th, 9th and 4th in the last 3 years. So that first major could come at Augusta this week.
Absolutely, and why not? You know, he's going to win a major at some point. There's no reason to say why it won't be the Masters. You know, he's second in strokes gained tee to green, and he's 6th in greens in regulation. So all those type of stats suit Augusta. My second pick is Colin Moricara. Just everything about this lad oozes class. You know, he's 9th in driving accuracy, he's leading approach play. You know, he's probably the best iron player in the world at the present time. You know, he won a WGC recently. He's going to win more majors. So again, there's no reason to say why it can't be this one.
And he's had his debut run here. He was 44th back in November, but the conditions were different. I would imagine firmer greens, the setup this time around, would probably suit him more.
Yeah, I would say the firmer conditions would suit good ball strikers and good iron players more than it would when it would be soft. Again, stroke average is 70.5. He's 4th in the world, and like we said, he's picked up a major and he's picked up a WGC. So the Masters will be massively setting his sights, I'm sure.
Okay, Simon, and finally, anyone at a bigger price?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Mexican, Abraham Ancer. Again, really good all-round player, 31st in the world. You know, you've got to be a good player to get to 31st in the world, and they're capable of winning majors. You know, he's 2nd in driving accuracy, 14th greens in reg percentage, 19th in birdie average, and he has the same scoring average as Moricara at 70.5. So clearly a very, very good player.
And of course, on his debut here in November, he did ever so well. He got into the final group in the final round, shot 76, but he would have learned from that, surely.
Massively. You know, you've got to learn from your mistakes. And I'm not saying that was a mistake, but it was a very different atmosphere for him to be in. Final group in a major, and especially the Masters, he will have learned a lot from that.
And he's a former Aussie Open winner, so if it is firmer conditions like we expect this year, it'll probably suit him more.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we said, he's good iron player. You know, and he just looks to have a really good temperament as well, which all the top boys do. But I think he could go really well again.
And he's a big price.
And he's a big price. He's probably 80, 90 to 1. So I think he's definitely worth a little flutter.
So there you have it. Thanks to Simon as always, and fingers crossed one of those three will be holding this year's winning putt.